I would like to welcome our wonderful audience of the 39th Young Audience Film Festival Kino. And today is a special day because our guest is Linda Hambäck, the director of the movie The Ape Star. Hello, Linda.
Hello.
And my first question will be about the origins of the film, because I know that it is an adaptation of the book by Frida Nilsson. And
yes.
I would like to know what captivated you in the story.
Oh, I was recommended this book by a colleague, and he told me just to read it and to he thought it was great. And then I read it because it's, I read a lot children literature, but I just fell in love with the story because it was so, I think it was I could just see the film in front of me directly almost, because it's such a nice story that you know, it's not like a sad story about adopted girl. It's more like an adventure of, you know, being captured to a new world and to get new relationship with and find a mother and that love, what that could be. And it could also, of course, be, I'm adopted myself. I'm from South Korea. And of course, I've always, you know, been imagine who could that person, you know, my biological parents be. And I also, my message for this film has been so strongly for me as everybody that loves you could be your family. And I think that's for me, it's a strong message because of I have a great parents in Sweden, but also because of I think that everybody now in our life now, you know, you live with step parents, you live with your grandma, you live with your auntie, you grieve with, you know, all around people can be around you, and everybody that loves you can really become your family. And I think that's for me it was when I read the book, I think that theme was very strongly for me, and that's what captured me.
And what do you think about the Frida Nilsson choice of the gorilla as a character? Do you think that is a metaphor of some part of the real world? Why that particular?
I think it's actually the gorilla she told me is her father, because he was a person in society that was not like the ordinary person. So he was a little bit an outsider. But I think that's why she made her into gorilla. And I think a lot of people can, you know, identify with being like an outsider. I think all of us actually part of our lives, and you know, you go off and on into that feeling that you feel like an outsider because you have a different way of seeing things, or how you want to live an ordinary life, and if you want to, or if you're good in sports or bad in sports. I think everybody can identify, you know, with being an outsider off and on. And I think and Frida says, or if you see her books, they always have one animals. So there is one in another book, there is a rat, and one, this is a gorilla, and she has have her dog, you know. So I think she just work with you know, I don't know, but she loves, you know, animals, to bring them into the stories in a normal way. And I think also that's what I like with this fantasy, that you, and that's so fantastic with, you know, with making films or making, you know, stories, because you can just do whatever, you can write it whatever you want, you know. So yeah.
It's a great vision when the animals and people interact with each other like a persons, and it works really well in this movie also.
And I also think like that you as a always I mean, my last film, Gordon and Paddy, was with like a mouse and a frog, and I think it's so, that's what your fantasy, and that's what animation also, you know, can, you know, like Sutropolis or something, that you really love the animals and you want them to get into your life in one way. Yes.
One more question about the film, because I see a lot of references to Charles Dickens in this film. There is a copy of Oliver Twist, and the Christmas Carol is mentioned. Is it important author for you, or just it's from the book?
Yeah, I think we added that too, that she was very literally, because she have, you know, if you're a little bit a loner, then you can, if you have the book's world, that will always, you know, expand your canvas and make it. I think everybody of us that you know, when we read books that or see films, culture in general, but literature in general, then you expand your world and go into other. And I think it was so important for us that we make her as not like she lives, you know, on the dump, and she has, you know, not the dump, but she has, you know, her own place, and she is you know, selling old things, but she also has her literally world that really, you know, is so wide, and also she loves the books. And for me it was very important. And actually it's my husband, he always, when he reads a lot of books, and when he reads when he buys a new book, he always open it and smells it, you know. It's and my daughter does that, and it's just a nice thing, you know, you do. So
and the film has a wonderful cast. We can hear Stellan Skarsgård, Pernilla August, among others. How did you get involved then to this movie? Because there is such a figure in the acting world.
Yes, I worked with Stellan before, 2 times before, so this is our 3rd film. And I just asked him, and it's just so much fun. I think they also like to come into the studio. We film them. They play. It's like a radio theater. So they stand. You know, we have like in a set in a big studio, and they go stand in front of the microphones, and then we film all the scenes. So the animators then can take some parts of their acting, small face expressions, or like with the Tord doing like this, or something that they can just take into the characters, and when they animate them to get them more live, and I think for Stellan, I don't know, you should ask him, but I think it's very playful to go in to do these films a couple of days, like 3 days, and then we do pickups and so on. But he is a great follower of children, I think, films, and it's just so magical to be able to play with him and Pernilla August, and the most great child actor, Rebecca Gansman, who plays Jonah. She is amazing in this cast, and also Melinda Kinnaman, that also had been part of my films before. So I'm very, very lucky, and also very blessed that they will come on board. Yes.
I can see behind you the two mascots of characters from the film. Could you tell us something about the design of the characters? How you work on imagining how they look like?
Yes, I have worked with a character designer called Maria Nilsson Tore. She has done the sketches illustrated for this film, only for Gorilla and Jonah, and then Eleanor Bergman will make them, and so we can animate them. So yes, it's just how you do when you do animation. It goes so slowly in one way. You work with for years. We worked I bought the rights for this book at 2014, and then it takes a lot of time to do the script. And Janne Wiet has made a fantastic script. It took us like 2 years, and then we at the same time we start to pencil out the characters, the backgrounds and everything. It goes very step and step and step. Slowly in one way. We call ourselves as creative marathon runners because it's such a slow pace, but still we have to do it. We work every day for a long time. So everybody that makes animation understands this. It's very a different part of how you create movies. Yes.
I think that there were a lot of screenings of this film.
Yeah.
Could you tell us something about the reception among the young viewers? How
Yes,
they?
it has been very well received. I'm very grateful for that. We have got really good reviews, and we also have now that it's really going well on the festival circuits. It's really going really well. But for the audiences, it has been, I think about 20,000 have seen it so far in like 1 month in France, and in Sweden it has been seen too, but it still has been affected actually by the COVID situation, that the people have not come yet back to the cinema. So hopefully it will, you know, we have been affected by that, but I'm very happy that people that are cinema lovers get to see it on the festivals and all around the world actually. So I'm very happy for that.
And I'm sure that here in Poznań, in Poland, also young viewers will be very happy to watch your film. And I would really like to thank you for this little conversation. It was a big pleasure for me. And feel invited to every next edition of our festival. I'm sure that you will be very happy to be with us. Thank you very much.
Yes, I would love to come. Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.